of Watching the Boxes fantasy basketball podcast hosted by #basketball.com. I'm Mike Catron, and tonight, wherever you're watching this, because we are pivoting, the official pivot to video, to YouTube, also on Twitch. This draft is on twitch.com. Follow us, twitch.tv? Yeah, twitch.tv/Watching the Boxes. Thank you. Come through. Subscribe. We will be doing more live shows this season. And YouTube. Watching the Boxes on YouTube. Fantasy Basketball Podcast. On wherever you listen to podcasts. Those are all the things. Those are all the plugs. We are doing a points mock draft today. I hate points leagues. I'm just going to say it. I do not like points leagues. And because I think they're kind of too simple. You either have the most points or you don't. Right? And so each player's worth some points. They're ranked a certain way. And that's all you got to do. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's just too simple. But a lot of y'all out there play in points leagues. And I respect that. I absolutely respect that. And that's why I'm showing you today how easy it is to do a draft in a points league. Go to #basketball.com like I have right here. Like right there. Right there. Ooh, right there. I gotta learn how to do the mirror shit. They have a tool on #basketball.com called Points Leagues Rankings. Just go there. Then go to your points leagues and make sure that your points, your rebounds are 1.2, your assists are 1.5, your steals are 3, your blocks are 3, your turnovers are -1, not 1.5. See? Turnovers not that bad. We are getting started here real quick. So it's a good thing I got in here. Make sure you update your rankings based on your points. This is how simple it is. This is why I don't like doing points leagues, quite frankly. Because we're already getting started. All right, cool. Great. And I know #basketball.com has a way where you can, if you're on the premium, they'll just do the draft for you. You just click on there and you do the draft for you. I, of course, do not have a queue. That's stupid. Why don't I have a queue up yet? Alright. I'm going 8th here. A lot of guys coming off the board real quick. I gotta get my life together. I might go Jason Tatum, actually. See, look at the points leagues. It's just like, I gotta pull it back up, actually. Look at this. You're on your points league. You refreshed. And all your points are just listed there for you. This is how many points Luka Doncic gets. Very exciting. This is how many Giannis gets. Very exciting. Alright. So, look at the draft results. Wemby goes first. Jokic second. Luka third. Luka should have went first because this is a points league, not a 9-cat league. Giannis was the second best. He went fourth. Anthony Davis. Doncic Sabonis at 6. That's weird. Embiid at 7. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's still out there. And if you're in a points league or you're in a redraft league, a Cats league, or whatever, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander should probably go 3rd or 4th, not 8th, even in a points league. And I hate how this is. Formatted here. Sorry. Didn't have it formatted very well for y'all for the video. Sorry that we out here doing a points draft at the last minute. This is kind of what I'm talking about. I don't like points leagues because, and I'm going to say it 1,000 times, because right here, this is your list. This is all you need to know. It's not how I like to play, but looking at what we have here, and let me readjust this for ya all. Look at that. Ooh, look at that. looks good. That looks way better. All right, let's get my shit together. Let's get a queue going out here. Hilariously, unprepared, doing everything at the last second. That's normal. Look at this draft results, right? Tatum went 12th. He's the 8th best player. Sabonis went 6th. He's the 9th best player in points. Now, I at least have to talk a little bit about my approach to a points league because, one, I'm in one right now. I'd rather have, looks like Trey just went 11th. Anthony Edwards went 10th. And that's too soon for Anthony Edwards in all leagues. What are you doing? I guess I'm going to be... Let me set my queue up first because I don't want to get snuck up on. Well, LeBron James is pretty good in a points league. Why? Because he's LeBron James. So I'll be putting him in the queue, even though he's way down the list. Let's see. Ja Morant, I'm staying away from. I'm going to get into that in a second. Tyrese is already gone. James Harden is still out there. I might go with James Harden over LeBron, but maybe not. Scotty Barnes is off the queue here. Looks like I'm up. Dang, I'm already up. So since this points league is doing positions, right? I think SFs are going to be harder to get. LeBron isn't significantly, in my opinion, better than Harden or Brunson in this particular points league. Just go with your gut. Go with your gut here. I feel like I want Brunson. Nah. Let's go LeBron James. Boring. I thought I was picking 8th. Alright, let me get situated. And let me tell you my philosophy around a points league, right? It's so simple. You just sort it. You just sort it by points. And then you look at #basketball.com or whatever website you're on, and you say, all right, cool. Here's the list. You could literally draft down the list if you really wanted to, and you'd probably finish. You'd probably make the playoffs, right? I would imagine. I like to focus a little bit differently because you got to know your league rules. Number one, is it positional? Is it guards and forwards? Is it 2 centers? Are there shooting guards? Are there small forwards? Like, what kind of league are you in? Like, that's the most important thing to do sorry, I'm just fucking distracted. The most important thing to do is to understand your league. In points leagues, you're going to be focused on something different. You're going to be focusing on position scarcity, so you make sure you get your shooting guard, right? Your small forward. And when points, like guys who are like clumped together, as you can see here, like LeBron James, 47.8. Trey Young, 47.6. Ja Morant, 46.5. Just rolled his ankle. I'm staying up, so I'm moving him down. Tyrese Halliburton, 46. James Harden, 46. LaMelo Ball, 45. Scotty Barnes, 44. Basically, that's a tier. I'm still tiering up all the players here. My pick is coming real quick here. It's actually my pick. Did Paulo Banchero go already? He did. That sucks. Is Segun or Bam Adebayo still out there? Bam's out there. Let me put him on my list. So, not a lot of good centers out there, probably. De'Aaron Fox is out there. I like that. Is Sengun still out there? No. Donovan Mitchell, Booker, I would wager they're not out there. I like Kyrie a lot, too. Paulo Banchero's fun. I like Paulo Banchero. I never go with Bam Adebayo. Let's go with Bam Adebayo. I never take Bam Adebayo. I'm legit just, like, having fun in a points league because, like I said, go with players you think are going to be better than the tier that they're in. Then focus on position. So with my first pick, I took Shea Gilgeous because he's the best player on the board. That's your number one pick. But then my second round, I'm looking at who's available. LeBron James was a couple points ahead of everybody else. I think, listen, LeBron's going to do it until LeBron stops doing it, right? I feel like I've been one of the greatest LeBron haters of all time. Like, I'm up there with, like, the greats. It's because I'm a Chicago fan. And since I'm a Chicago fan, it's hard to articulate this in a way. It's a lot of it's jealousy, right? We have one of the worst franchises in basketball. It's ran really poorly, and you have this like 2-decade span where LeBron James is just one of the greatest players of all time. And in that span, we've had our since Michael Jordan, we had one good era, and that was the Derrick Rose era. That was coinciding with LeBron's peak. That would have been a really fun rivalry to have. Shout out Derrick Rose. Shout out his retirement. No haters on the Derrick Rose train here. He meant a lot to Chicago, meant a lot to the city. And I think that's why I'm always been a LeBron hater, is because we should have been the best rivals, and instead it wasn't a rivalry because Derrick Rose got injured too many times and that team fell apart, and that was that. Right? That's just the way it goes. I think too many people this year think LeBron James is going to fall off the planet. I think the guy is a robot. Like, he's an alien. He will do it until he can't do it. Will he play less games than last year? Probably. Will he play less minutes than last year? Maybe. He's still just going to do LeBron stuff. That team still needs him to do LeBron stuff. They still really, really need LeBron to be LeBron. Like, really, really need LeBron to be LeBron in order to make the playoffs, because the West is a bloodbath. And that's why I don't think LeBron takes any sort of backseat, setback, etc. I just don't see that in the cards this season. So I'm fine with him being a couple points ahead of basically the rest of the queue. I took LeBron. My next pick, simply, I don't think there's going to be a lot of really great centers later. So I went with Bam Adebayo. And I also think Bam Adebayo this year could have himself a really nice year, because I think the Heat are in flux. I think the Heat are in flux, and I think I'm coming up on my pick, of course. Playing from behind. Ooh, I don't know how it's Zion. Towns is gone. I think the Heat are in flux. I think we could see a situation, and I think they started doing it a little bit more last year. Jimmy Butler's got a lot of minutes on him, and I love Jimmy Butler. I especially love Jimmy Butler where he's being drafted this year. He's in a contract year. He's in a contract year, but Jimmy Butler is savvy. Jimmy Butler is smart. It doesn't mean he's going to stay on the Heat. I think he will. Like, overall, like, it's a franchise that takes care of their players, unlike the previous franchise that he played for. Ooh, I want Jalen Johnson, actually. I like Jalen Johnson a lot. So right now I'm in between DeJounte Murray and Jalen Johnson because they are up here. I think Jalen Johnson is more likely to see a bump in usage. I think everybody's hating on DeJounte Murray too much as well. He's actually probably the second best player on that team, and Zion's going to get hurt, so he'll be the best player on that team. Bodes well that he's not sharing a load with Trae Young, who is like one of the highest usage players in the league, which is why Trae Young is absolutely a first-round draft pick in a category league, because his assists are going to go right up the chart. Very excited about Trae Young. So let me get back to Bam Adebayo. I know I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm trying to do like 6 things at once, and that's dumb. But that's what happens when you're doing a mock draft at the last second. I like the fact that the future of the Miami Heat is Bam Adebayo, playing through Bam Adebayo, having him do more stuff. He's an incredibly versatile center. In a category league, I don't love him. I hate where he's being drafted in a category league, but in a points league, where he just needs to score a little bit more, get a few more rebounds, maybe get an extra block here, I really like his potential to have a bump in a points league. So, since he was in that space, he was a little bit above everybody else, and he was a center, and I think he's going to be a little bit better than the projected stats on #basketball.com. That's why I drafted him. It's the same thing with Jalen Johnson. I think DeJounte Murray is going to be good. Jalen Johnson is going to be good. And this is what I'm saying. I'm not even looking at normal rounds, normal rankings, tiered lists, categories, because it doesn't matter. I don't care how many assists this guy gets. I don't care how many points this guy gets or steals this guy gets. Most of these guys are going to revert to the mean. Most of these guys are going to be in the same space they were in the previous years. Right? I don't need rebounds right now. I need points. So, Rudy Gobert, off the list. I'm just going down the list. This is why I hate points leagues. I'm just going down the list and just seeing who's available, and then based on the top 3-4 guys who are available as I go down the list, and I'm going to pick whoever I feel like. Right? I'm looking at this tier here, like 30. Like this is a big tier, 38, 39 to 37, huge tier. And and I'll take anybody you want in this space. Is Mobley available? No. Is Van Fleet available? No. Is Jaren Jackson available? No. I bet you Vooch is available. Ooh, Vooch is not available quickly. I'm staying away from Jamal Murray this year in all leagues. So Kyle Kuzma is in this space, but he's going to drop. I'm not taking him. Is Bane available? No. Let's see. We got to get somebody who's actually... So this is the other piece, is that some of these guys are going to drop. Is Aiden available? I might take Aiden at 56. That's a pretty good pick. 2 centers, huh? Is Franz available? Ooh, Franz Wagner's available. He's at 34. Alright, I'm taking Franz. That's, I think, the number one thing to focus on here. I like Franz playing a little bit better, getting a little bit more usage this year. So, since he's in this range, he's kind of on the bottom of the range, like 34. But like 34 to 37, that's doable. Alright, cool. It was either him or Kyle Kuzma, who's going to be available in a couple rounds. Julius Randle, who's going to be available in a couple rounds. That's the number one thing to do in a points league, is to keep drafting high points guys. Like it's so simple. It's so annoying how simple it is. Knowing, you gotta pay attention. Knowing which guys, and like the people I'm drafting against, I guarantee you Ayton, Kuzma, Randle go off the board. They know what they're doing. But sometimes you're going to be in a league where they're like, oh, this is the best player available. Oh, this is a good cat guy. Oh, this is a good steal guy. It doesn't matter. It's a points league, right? RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Kyle Kuzma, those are later round picks. Cam Thomas, that's a later round pick. So I could probably wait a round or two and still get a top 50 guy. Like I'm going to take Ayton here if he's available, because why not? I'm going to take Nurk real late. I can't wait to get Nurk. So I guess I didn't need that center in retrospect with Bam. Probably didn't need the center. Probably could have went with somebody else because it looks like Nurk's available. And in points leagues, usually the centers are a little bit overrated um, because they get the blocks. And if you're like really good at blocks but you don't do anything else, you're getting those 3 points, right, for the blocks. But like, just find the guys who are like percentages don't matter. So Jordan Poole, top 60, top 70 player, fantastic, great news. Can't wait, can't wait to draft these guys, hilariously. And I just, I think it's pretty straightforward. Ooh, is D'Angelo Russell available? Love D'Angelo Russell. This season is Tobias Harris available? Yes. Dude, there's just so many good points players available because it's points. It's a points league. We're only down to 32 points a game. I think I can get away with is Bradley Beal available? Yes. All right. It's my pick. I think I could come back and get Kuzma or Poole in the next round. I really do. So I'm a little forward heavy, and I think we could see a nice year out of Bradley Beal. He's a little underrated. He's like a 32 pointer. All these guys are like 32 pointers, right? This is a nice giant plateau of 32 pointers. But the thing is, I'm going to get a 32 pointer in this round, and the next round, and the next round, and the next round. Because in a points league, guys like Jakob Podol are the 77th best player. Derek White's the 72nd. Like, Derek White should be much higher than that. In a regular league, someone went Podol early. Shout out to them. Someone went Podol early. I really like Zubac this year, and I'm going to see in this area Zubac. Hey, Zubac, where are you at? 92? 30-point guy? Really, anybody in this space that you think is going to be better than the projections, just pick them up. Be aware that some guys who are usually drafted in the first 5, 6 rounds are going to be way down this list because they're like good across the board players, but they don't do anything well. And that's great for a category league because you just eat up those cats. But in a points league, no one gives a shit because it's points. That's right. That's right. Keep saying it, everybody, because it's points. Darius Garland. Oh, Darius Garland's still out there. What? Should have picked him. I would have had him over Beal. Damn. See, this is why you got to do your math. You got to get it. You got to get ahead of the game. It's like Brandon Miller is kind of like a good across the board guy here. Brandon Miller's down here 30 points a game. Do you think he's going to be better than 18, 4, and 2.5, which he might be? That's a pretty fun pick. Darius Garland, I really like. Jordan Poole's usage, I think, could be pretty crazy. So I hope he gets back to me. If not, I'll probably end up with Russell. So, like I said, some people in this draft are going to be smart enough to be getting guys like Kyle Kuzma, Julius Randle. Those guys already went off the board. And I think it's good to note round 6, Kuzma went off the board, Tobias Harris went off the board, Zach LaVine, Podol went really early, and that person probably thinks Podol's going to have a crazy year. I don't think so. Jalen Green went off the board. Jalen Green's like probably the biggest discrepancy, where he's like way down ADPs in a regular cat league, but is probably like a 5th-round player that you can get in the 6th round in a points league. So really, and I didn't do it because I'm always trying to do 7 things at once. You can sit on quite a few players who are going to get you 30 to 35 points. And you can just keep getting those 30, 35 points, guys. And that's the goal here in the middle rounds of a points league. Um, Let me make sure I got my cue correct before I forget and miss the fact that is RJ Barrett still available? Can't wait to get that guy in a later round. Um, before I forget and miss Garland, I want to make sure I have Porzingis, DeRozan, uh, Pool Hero. So I'm probably taking Pool here. Pool Hero. Someone went Jalen Green. He's the 70th best player. If you think he's going to have a much better year, yeah, like getting him in the 6th round is it's fantastic. I love that. Um, is Colin Sexton still available? Yeah, so I'm going to sit on him. Is Jalen Duran's probably not available? I would imagine. No, he's not available. Someone thinks I don't know why someone thinks Aaron Gordon's going to be that good. Aaron Gordon does just like regular ass Aaron Gordon shit, but he went at the end of the 6th round. I find that a little weird. That same guy took Brandon Podziemski from the Warriors, who might not even start in the 7th round. I don't like those picks. I think you got to go with guys usage points. It's a points league. Usage is number one. You know who likes to shoot? Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole loves to shoot. I'm very happy with getting Jordan Poole this late in the draft, like at the end of the 7th round. I'm pretty happy about getting Jordan Poole at the end of the 7th round in a points league because he's going to shoot. He's going to shoot some more. He's going to shoot even more than that. And he's a good assist guy. He is. He's a very good assist guy. At the beginning of last year, they were like, I know. You're right. I might have a echo. Thank you, Phineas. Let me see if this helps. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, Phineas. I got some guys in the chat. Thank you. Excellent. Doing a points league here, Phineas, and you know how I feel about points leagues. So uh, I've been doing good. It's been a crazy summer. I have Phineas is asking how I'm doing. I have a 7th-month-old today. That's crazy. She turned 7 months old. Yeah, that's an old baby, still baby. And it's been a hectic summer. But I'm here, I'm alive, and this is the pivot to video. So shout out to Phineas for joining us, talking to him on Twitch. If you want to join the live streams on Twitch, twitch.tv/watching the boxes. This is also going to go up on YouTube, so check us out on YouTube, watching the boxes there as well, depending on where you are watching or listening to this at. It's almost my pick. This is a good like first one because it's like I don't care. It's a points league. It's a mock draft too, but it's a points league. Like just look here at the list, and then pick the guy who's available. So I have a nice queue here. I might go with Zubac. Where is Russell? D'Angelo Russell, 32 points. Cool. Yeah, I might go Zubac. You want to know why? Because I like Zubac. I think he's actually going to have himself a nice year. He's 30 points a game. D'Angelo Russell's 32 points a game. So D'Angelo Russell probably does what D'Angelo Russell does. Colin Sexton probably does what Colin Sexton does. Zubac gets an extra rebound a game. Gets an extra point a game. That's 32 points, right? So I think he's going to be more of a focal point with Kawhi out over there. I'm taking Zubac as my second center. And if you're noticing a trend, this is the trend with my points league draft. At first, in any draft, best player available: Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, LeBron James. Those are the best players available in a points league at the time. Then it started to become, because it tears out so quickly. Like, look at this. 62 points, Luka Doncic. mid 50s, already in the 40s. At the top 30, you're already out of the 40s. So 40 to 35, that's probably a tier. 35 to 30, it's an even bigger tier. You could probably even go to 29 there. Look at this. So as the draft goes on, I think you want to make sure you're staying in the tier or the plateau region in your points setup. Make sure you're staying in that region, but then look at the entire region and go, all right, all these guys are pretty similar based on their projections. Who in this list do I think is going to get more usage? Well, I think Bam Adebayo is going to play a more important role in Miami. So, Bam Adebayo. I think Jalen Johnson in Atlanta is going to get more usage. Pretty excited about him. Franz Wagner, he's young. He's going to get better. I think he's continuing to improve. Jordan Poole, usage out. Washington's going to be terrible. Usage out of this world. Bradley Beal, I think he's just underrated. Bradley Beal was kind of just a pick because I liked. He was there. How about that? He just happened to be there. Zubac usage up. And right now, Colin Sexton's still available. So we're still in this. If I look where Sexton is, we're still in this 35 to 29 range, which spans all the way from Julius Randle, who's a top 50 player in this type of format, and Kyle Kuzma. Probably should have grabbed Kuzma when I could. So I'll probably regret that in the future. All the way down, if we're going to 29, all the way down to 103. So, I don't know. Who cares? Bogdan, grab him. Is Drew Holiday available? Sure, grab him. So who in this group do I think could be in? Scoot would be someone I think could be in for a better year. He's already been taken off the board. Jackson Davis, I'll put him in my queue, but I think I can get him later. I don't think Middleton or Porter Jr. are up for much more. Brandon Miller's already off the board. I already blew my shot on Zubac. Mark Williams could be in for a little bit better of a year. It's almost my turn. Amen Thompson. I wouldn't mind getting him in a future round. Jeremy Grant already off the board. Terry Rozier off the board. Capella I actually think is going to have less usage this season, so I'm out on him. I think people are underrating CJ McCollum drastically. Jaden Ivey, I can get in a later round. You love to see it. So Colin Sexton's still out there. I like Colin Sexton. I think he's going to be knocking shit out. Oh, damn it. See, this is what happens when you're not paying attention. Colin Sexton literally gets sniped out from under me. So did Bogdan. So who in this list here is someone I can respect? Maybe Kessler. Is Kessler around? Kessler is around. 26 seconds. Think I can do it? Let's look at the 28s. Anybody in here stick out? Maybe a Derek Lively. Derek Lively's fun. We're at pick 104. I'm going to go with Derek Lively. I think, based on Hashtag Basketball's projections, they got Derek Lively here. I believe. How many minutes a game that they got him here? They don't even have. Put the minutes out there. Put the minutes out there, Joey. I don't think any of these guys, it doesn't matter. It's a points league. I don't care about the position. I don't care about anything. I'm getting points. Derek Lively is in this 28 to 35 range. He's in the 28 space, but he's a guy who gets. Derek Lively, where is he at? Good blocks, good rebounds. So, one extra block, half a block a game, 0.3 block a game. That's a lot of points. A couple extra rebounds. That's a lot of points. His usage goes up. I think he's a double-digit rebounder if he plays the minutes. I'm taking a bet on the minutes, though. And I think you have to. I think you have to take a bet on the minutes. Is OG and Anunoby still available? Oh my god, he is. I'm gonna take. Ooh, you know who I'm also? Nas Reed's gone. Damn, Nas Reed is gone, and I'm not happy about that. I wish Nas Reed wasn't gone. I'm kind of interested in Jalen Suggs as well here. I don't know if I can get him. I don't know if I can get Suggs in a future round, but I don't know if that's necessary. I love his steals though. Him and OG and Anunoby, kind of variance wise, they could win you a week if they get like those extra steals. Like it kind of go up and down. And I think like in this stage of the points draft, I want to have someone who does that little bit of a variance because like no one really here is standing out. Like everybody's kind of in this like 31 to 28 range. So I could either go 20 down here in the 27s, 26s. I could keep going down if I really wanted to, but none of these guys stand out. Ooh, Andre Drummond. Give me some Andre Drummond. And this is why, once again, this is none of this applies to a category league. None of the things that I'm saying apply to a category league. Um, Drummond, when he plays, is gonna win you your week if you're taking him. I should take him now. I honestly should. I think he'll be around. Um, I got sniped again. OG Anunoby off the board. Suggs right off the board. Damn, Tyus Jones, who I like, off the board. Kessler went earlier. Eamon Thompson went earlier. All my guys went earlier. All right. Well, this is the time of the draft. Everybody's kind of on the same page. I like that. I appreciate that. If Jackson Davis gets the minutes in Golden State, that's a nice pick. I'm not sure if he will. Um, do I want Jay Nivey or do I want Mark Williams? Let's go Jay Nivey. Everybody knows what's going on in Detroit. Let's go Jay Nivey. Why not? Let's see what Phineas is saying out here. Um, nice. I'm glad Phineas was in Chicago. I'm glad you're in Chicago. One of the greatest cities in the world. And I hope you enjoyed it. The weather in June was pretty stellar. Actually, the weather right now is pretty stellar. And that's usually it's shitty. It's snowing, it's raining in Chicago in October. And it's perfect. It's beautiful out. I think it's going to be in the 60s and 70s for the next week or so, all the way up to 80. That's kind of crazy, right? Yeah. I don't know where you're at, Phineas, but if you're in the path of some sort of hurricane that already happened or a hurricane that's about to happen, yo, uh, Godspeed. Um, Everybody, especially anybody who's listening, be safe. Get the fuck out of there. Get the fuck out of there. Move. Um, I know it's not that simple. I'm just playing a little devil's advocate here. It does appear everything is cool on my end. All right. Is it coming up on my pick? No, not really. So I went Ivy just because I think the upside is there. I think Middleton is a good pick here as well. Like I think if Middleton is a little bit healthier and his minutes go up a little bit, that's a really nice pick. This is what I'm saying. Like right now, you're just taking upside picks because everybody's going to score somewhere between 30 and 26 at this point. Like 25 goes all the way down to pick 147. So if you're interested in Zach Edey, right? If you think he's going to take a big role in Memphis, this is a nice place to pick him. Trey Murphy could be good. I don't know. I how would you know what that Pelicans team? I can't get behind anybody on the Pelicans team other than DeJounte Murray, who I actually do like, and I do think he will be better than he was last year this season. Absolutely. I love this Alex Caruso pick at 121. Huge high steals upside. He has a big steals game, 3-4 steals. All of a sudden, I assume he's playing more, and they're going to use him in an incredible way in Oklahoma City. He gets 3-4 steals, he wins you the week, right? And I think that's what I'm leaning towards down here, variance wise. And someone went Porzingis at 123. fantastic. The second half of the season, you're gonna have a pretty good guy leading into the playoffs. So if you make the playoffs and you got Porzingis coming off an injury, great job, fantastic job. Um, a lot of guys going with like steals guys like DiVincenzo. Ooh, it's my turn. Shit. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Andre Drummond. I don't care. Andre Drummond. When Embiid is hurt, I'm gonna win every single week. Every single week that Embiid is hurt or not playing, I just won that week because Andre Drummond's gonna get like 33 rebounds. It's gonna be awesome. I cannot wait. Love me some Andre Drummond. I think that's a great late round snag in a points league because no one's thinking about Andre Drummond. Nobody's thinking about him. Nobody's thinking about Herb Jones, but he's a good steals guy. I'm gonna pick him up if he's around. Um, is anyone thinking about Terrence Mann? No, probably not. Did he go already? No. Is anybody thinking about Mathurin? No, he didn't go either. Is Monk still out there? No, he's not. Interesting. About Clay, I bet you Clay's off the board. Oh, Ryu Hachimura! Slow and steady Ryu Hachimura, 25-point guy. Let's make sure I didn't miss anybody up here. Sar probably went. Oh, Sar didn't go. I'm taking Sar. Another upside guy. Washington doesn't know what they're doing. Another big upside guy. I hope I get him. That would be great. Is Clarkson still out there? Jordan Clarkson's still out there. Okay, cool. People forget about Jordan Clarkson. They really do. I'm taking Sar though. I'm taking Sar because of the upside. It's coming up on me. Sorry for the pause. I don't know what else I have to say about a points league. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna definitely do. There's a handful of guys I'm very interested in. Me and Tyler are gonna be talking about that on the podcast here this week. We're gonna be doing a who do I draft? Oh, okay. Got back to me. Sar's still available. Upside, especially with the blocks. Upside. If he plays more than I think, if he's better than I think, upside. Like it's hard for me to get excited or have any other like strategy around points league because all these guys are basically the same. So many of them. Like in a category league, I have my mind right. Like I know there's the best guys, there's the second tier guys, there's the third tier guys, and that's like usually through the top 45. And in a points league, the plateau region is so large because like that first plateau in a cats league starts at Jaylen Brown. So we have the Jaylen Brown line, which is a great episode that we did not that long ago. Check out the podcast. Go listen to the Jaylen Brown line. I think that's actually, if you're doing draft prep right now for a categories league, probably the best episode you can listen to because we talk about who's in the tiers and who's in the plateau. And of course, Jaylen Brown is the line. Is he the worst best player? Or is he the best worst player? And we get to the bottom of that. We also think there's one player. Spoiler, I'll just tell you. Franz Wagner could be the best worst player or the worst best player. I don't know. But I'm still sticking with Jaylen Brown. You're either above the Jaylen Brown line or you're below it. And that's the way I approach a category chart. Is that I'm taking anybody in the tiers before everybody in the plateau. And then in the plateau region, I'm looking for guys who I think have top 50 upside, who could improve this year, whose usage could be up. In a points league, I'm doing that type of plateauing from pick 17 to pick 40. And then doing pick 50. And then pick 50 to pick 120. And then after that, I don't know, just go with minutes. After pick 150, which we are at, go with minutes. So Ryu Hachimura's got to get minutes. Jordan Clarkson's got to get minutes. I'm just gonna put those guys at the top of my list. I'm gonna take whichever one falls to me. Let me see. Let me look at my roster. Guards. I got good guards. I got good forwards. I got a ton of centers. I don't need like a specific type of backup. I only have 4 guards, I guess. Like maybe I should get another guard. So I will. If Jordan Clarkson falls to me, I'll get him. If not, I'll take Ryu Hachimura. Who cares? They're going to get good minutes. They're going to play. They're going to start. Clarkston sniped. Clarkston sniped. So I'll go with Ryu. I don't care. Terrence Mann might have been a nice pick there. Where was Terrence Mann on this list? I thought I saw him pretty far up there. Like 20, like not really, 25. Like, that's it. Like, that's the only equation you have to do. And that's why I'm not a big points league fan, because there's not a lot of thought process that goes into it, in my opinion. Find your points league settings, put them into the tool, sort them, and then create tiers, and then take the guy who you think could break out of that tier. The end. What's up, Shining Drake? Thanks for popping in. And I'm glad you liked the Jaylen Brown line podcast. I do think it's one of the better ones we've done in a long time. And mostly because Tyler knows his shit. Like, Tyler's very good. And the concept in a category league, right, is that not only in that tiered space, like in the points league, it doesn't matter. You either think they're going to break out or you think they're not. And then they're in this tier, and then you pick that guy, and then you just move on with your life. Make sure you got your starters. Make sure you can start every position. The end. It's points league. Category league, on the other hand, gets a lot more fun, a lot more complicated. Because once you get out of that tiered section, you've started to build a team. If you're in a head-to-head league, you're going to want to find a way to either lean into. We don't punt on watching the boxes. We ignore. So you either ignore certain categories that you've gotten through the first 3 or 4 rounds. You either ignore certain categories, and then you lean into the ones you're great at, or you start building a nice level of the categories that you're not ignoring. And I think that's our favorite way to play a head-to-head league, is to be like really good at, like really, really good at a couple categories, and then be top 3 in the rest, and ignore maybe 1 or 2. I say ignore because I don't want you to be last in free throws. I want you to be in the middle of the pack in free throws. That way, when you go against the teams who are last in free throws, you are already getting a category, plus you're already getting your top 2, top 3 categories. So that's 4. You only need 1 more. And so if you're good at the rest of the categories, one of those categories will hit. Because you just need to win the week. That's it. I agree that points leagues are an oversimplified fantasy basketball setting, league type. If you are new to fantasy basketball, if you're coming from fantasy football, okay, do it. Like, play. The most important part, play, have fun. Right? Categories are more fun. Because, like, once you get to that plateau section, the entire points draft is a plateau section, pretty much. Once you get to that plateau section, around the Jaylen Brown line, not only are you looking for breakout guys between 45 and 75, like, hey, I think that, I think Jalen Johnson is going to break out this year. Great. Pick him. But you're also building a team. You're also looking at the categories. You're also looking at other players, like other teams' builds. Like, if some guy doesn't have a center, and you're sitting there, and you could take a center, maybe not, and you notice, like, you have a good center, but you could take a second center, and you notice some guy doesn't have a center in, like, the 6th round, you could go grab the center that you wanted, that you were thinking about taking, and then trade it to that guy for one of his better players. Like, there's so many little various ways that the category leagues make everything more interesting, because every single manager has a different priority system And that's why I play Road. I'm glad, Shining Drake, this is your first year playing head to head. That's fantastic. That's what I love to hear. Roto is my favorite way to play because it's a season long thing. You're in it. You could take people out. The priorities for each player. There's a game within the game, right? Like the rankings in those categories change, and you could go after one guy, and like your priorities are even greater. Like you have different variances in priorities across in a roto league, and that's why I think it's the most interesting. In a head-to-head league, there's variance in priorities. In a points league, there's like no variance because every time you get a trade, right, you're like, okay, let me look at the points. Oh, this guy scores more points than the other guy. I don't want him. It's like my guy scores more points, your guy's doesn't. And I'm not making that trade. You would have to be like, oh, maybe this month DeJounte Murray's going to play better than Tyrese Maxey, so I guess I'll trade for him. It's like a crazy guess. So, like, I think points leagues are limited in how much fun fantasy basketball can be. Because in a head-to-head league, your matchups matter. Your categories matter. When you're in a roto league, your placing matters. You might be in a head-to-head league punting, ignoring free throws. So guys who are bad at free throws, Rudy Gobert, are top 15 players to you. In a roto league, though, you have to wager, hey, do I have enough good free throw guys to deal with a Rudy Gobert so my rebounds can go up? Because in rebounds, I'm only, I'm in 8th place in rebounds, but 3rd place is very reachable with a talent like Rudy Gobert. But if my free throws drop and they equal each other out, it's pointless. But if I can get up to 3rd in rebounds and only drop like 1 or 2 points in free throws, now I'm sitting in 3rd place, 2nd place. And you have all season long to do that, right? If you're on your way to making the playoffs, you're feeling in a head-to-head league, you're feeling good. If you're not paying attention. I completely agree with you, Shining Drake. Roto does have the most strategic flexibility. Like, I like to trade players to other teams and get like 90 cents on the dollar, but in a Roto league. But since I've traded a player to this other team who maybe is below me in the standings, but they pass somebody who's above me in the standings in a certain category, then the guy above me loses points, and I stay the same, but I've gained a rank. Like, that's the complexity of Roto, and that's why I think Roto is the best way to play it. Yeah, they're great trades. They're smart trades, and I think it leads to a more active league, more active waiver wire. I think people are more committed longer. And like I said, no matter what system you're playing, no matter what points head to head, different categories, no turnovers, turnover to assist ratio, however you deal with it, however you set up your league, the most important thing is that everybody wants to play and everybody's having fun and everybody's enjoying themselves, right? It's the whole point of this is it's a hobby. It's fun. It's fun to talk shit to your friends. It's fun to win. It's fun to have a lot at stake when you're watching a regular game in the middle of the week and you're like, I hope I beat my friend Steve. I hate that guy. So Chris Paul get an extra assist. Like, that's fun. That's the whole point of this. And I hope you're having fun. I hope your draft season is going really well. There will be more mock drafts. There will be more podcasts. Check us out, twitch.tv/watching the boxes. Check us out on YouTube. Just look up Watching the Boxes on YouTube. Watching the Boxes Fantasy Basketball Podcast. And Watching the Boxes podcast, wherever podcasts are downloaded. Check us out. Download it. Subscribe. Subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe to all the things. This is how the economy works. Subscriptions. That's it. You'll be subscribed to everything for the rest of your life. Your air, your water, your heat, your air conditioning, all subscription models. We live in a hellscape based on subscription models. So please subscribe. Really appreciate it. We appreciate you listening, and we'll see you next time.